If I lost everything tomorrow and had to rebuild using I would pick one of three businesses, not nine, not five, three of them, and I'll be making real money within 90 days of actually doing it. And I can say it with audacity because I have proven this framework actually works. On this episode of the podcast, I'm going to be showing you the three AI business models that actually produce income, why the other six I will talk about fails before you even get started, and the one mistake that kills every single one of them before it makes a single dollar. I have personally shipped AI in cleaning companies, real estate, and consulting. I get to test these stuffs in real world, not a whiteboard, not sitting down and watching YouTube videos and hoping that magically I'm going to have an agency that actually makes sense. So yes, I know for sure what I'm talking about, and I'm sure that as long as you implement everything I'm going to be sharing with you today, there is a higher chance of you making money out of using AI or doing these three models I'm going to be sharing with you in the course of this video. So if you are that person who have been thinking, maybe you run a business, you're thinking, how can AI actually help this kind of business for me to make more money? You want to watch this video. If you are already an agency owner, you're figuring out which model should I use that people are making money out of this will also be very helpful. But first of all, hit that subscribe button and that like button, and don't forget to share this with your friend. So without wasting more time, let's jump into this episode. You are welcome to the Founders Diary. Most people think starting an AI business means picking a tool and selling access to it. That's what a lot of people do, and they call themselves an AI entrepreneur. The tool is never the business. The business is the problem you are solving. The tool is just how you solve that problem faster. So here's the playbook. Three models, that is all you need. And I'm going to be sharing every single thing with you in the course of this conversation. The first model we will be talking about is the setup business model. You go into a company that needs AI and they can't figure it out themselves, and you build it for them. That's the first model you need to understand. Now, the second model is the speed business. Now, you take a service people already pay for, use AI to do it faster in a fraction of the time, and keep the margin that comes out of that. That's the second model. Now, the third model is the pipeline business. In this case, you build the automated system that fills someone else's sales pipeline while they sleep at night, and you're just raking them leads or taking care of their customer care. That is the pipeline business. Three models, all of them pay really well. I'm going to show you exactly how each one works, starting with the one that gets you to your first dollars the fastest among this list of models we'll be talking about today. But first, I need to tell you why the other six fail, because if you pick the wrong one, you will be 6 months in with nothing, absolutely nothing to show for it. And I don't want that to be you. Now, the setup business. Here's why this model gets you paid faster than almost anything else in AI right now. Businesses know they need AI, all right? They see it everywhere. Their competitors are using it. Their employees are asking about it, and they have no idea where to actually start. That gap is exactly the business you're looking for. That gap is where you position yourself to be the person they always want to have a conversation with. The mechanic is simple. You come in, you diagnose the actual problem they have, you build the tool or the workflow that actually fixes that problem, and you hand it over to them. You charge for the diagnosis, the build, and the training. Three revenue moments from one single client. That is the sweetest framework I want you to take home today. And this is one of the fastest way to get that AI money into the bag. And here's exactly what this looks like in real life from someone who is actually doing it almost every single week. One client I worked with was spending 8 hours a day on manual operations. Someone was physically typing data from one system into another. As a matter of fact, they even had to do a certain server migration manually when I got there, and I was so pissed. They were sending follow-up emails by hand, updating spreadsheet one row at a time. After we sat down with them, have a conversation, diagnose their workflow, that same work that they spent hours doing took 30 minutes to get done. That's $5,000 a month saved. They paid for the work once and kept the savings forever. That's why they will hire you. The return is very obvious. You're not selling a subscription to a tool, you are selling them time back. And time, as we know, has a dollar value that you guys must have discovered in the course of the diagnosis you are carrying out in their workflow. But here's the problem with this model if you get it wrong. Most people try to sell AI work without any diagnosis. They show up with a tool they like and try to find a place in that business to plug it in. That's the backward integration. The client doesn't have a Claude problem or a ChatGPT problem. They have a specific operational problem that's costing them time or money. So your job is to find that problem first. Like that is the key in all of these things we're talking about. Find that problem first. Then you pick the tool that you know will fix it properly. Now, if you skip the diagnosis, you are building something they don't actually need, and they will never call you again to fix it. Because let's be honest, if they are calling you, and if for any reason you come in and you do anything, and that itch, that pain is still there when you leave, definitely you didn't do something cool. They won't call you back. Now, this brings us to model number two. Model number two is where I see the most solo operators quietly building real income, and I'm loving it for them. And it's the one most people overlook because it sounds too simple. It is in plain sight and it sounds too simple that people feel, now I don't think people are making money out of it, which is the speed business. The fastest way to make money with AI is to find something people already pay for and do it faster than anyone else can. Yeah, the person already generates content for LinkedIn, and the possibility to generate 5 content, spending 4 hours trying to generate the entire week worth of content, and you help them do that in 30 minutes and even do more content. What do you think will happen? That is a clear time to money. This is how the mechanic works. You pick a service with an established market: content writing, social media management, bookkeeping summaries, customer support, email marketing. These are all things that businesses already have budget for every single year. You use AI to cut your production time down, sometimes by even 80%. You charge the same market rate. The difference between what you charge and how long it takes you is the margin that you are trying to make in this business model. So here's a real example. A solo operator running social media for 3 clients used to spend about 20 hours a week writing posts, captions, and copy. With the right AI setup, that drops to around 4 hours. Same clients, same invoices, same deliverables. And that's exactly how a one-person shop grows without payrolls in the era of AI. Most people pick the wrong service to start with, though. So let me be specific about what actually works here with you. The services that work with this model are ones where the output is measurable and the client doesn't care how you made it. They care that it is good and it arrives on time, like social posts, email sequences, ad copy, support ticket responses. This works. But if you try to do this with something like legal analysis or financial advice, the client cares deeply about your process because there are sensitive data involved. AI can assist, but it can't be the whole thing. It can't be the principal driver in that particular aspect that we are now going into. So I want you to pick a service where the output is the product, not the hours you spend on it. Model number three is the one I use to build my own company from zero, and is the one that runs while you are not working, which is the pipeline business. You see, every business needs leads. Almost none of them are getting them consistently. That problem is what a monthly retainer. So here's how this works. You build an automated outreach system. It finds the right prospect, sends a first message, follow up automatically over a few days, and book calls when someone responds. The business owner wakes up to meetings already on their calendar. You charge them every month to keep it running. You can see how sweet this sounds, right? But now she has 16 hours back every single week. That is room for 2 more clients without hiring anyone else or trying to get into more extravagant spending on AI tools that you might not even need. But the real truth here in my aspect is I actually built this for myself before I ever sold it to anybody. When I started my company, I had no marketing budget, no referral network in the city because I was new in this country. I built an outreach system using AI, ran it for a few weeks, and generated my first real month of revenue without spending $1 on paid ad or traffic. And the system was running while I sleep. That system is now what I built for most clients that I walk into, and I diagnose them and I realize they have a lead problem. Then I can confidently say, I know how to get you this lead because I have done it for myself and I've seen the result and I've gotten the outcome to show for it. And it was at that point in my business when I figure out what actually can work in terms of the lead generation that I realized that most people trying to sell these services are skipping the most important step in all of these things we are actually talking about today. They build the automation before they have written any message that actually works. The tool can actually send 1,000 emails, but if the message is wrong, 1,000 emails just means 1,000 people ignoring you. And believe me, the algorithm doesn't like that. The work is in the copy, the targeting, the offer. The automation is just like a delivery system that gets all of this good stuff to your ideal clients. Get the message right first, then automate it. If you flip that, you have built a very efficient machine for sending bad emails. And that's exactly what you don't need when you are building an agency from scratch. And especially if you are non-technical, you are a solo founder, and you're trying to do all of these things, possibly from the corner of your bedroom. Now, I told you at the start, there is one mistake that kills all three of these models before they even make a single dollar. This is the time for it. Here's the one thing I want you to take home from this. If you know how we do on each of my episodes, I always try to make sure I give you something that when you leave this environment, when you switch out of this video and you ask yourself, what did I learn? That should stand out for you. You see, the business model is not the hard part to actually get when you are building or running a business. Every single one of these three models that we have discussed so far fails the same way. Someone picks up the tool first and then goes looking for a problem to match that tool. They learn Claude or they learn some automation software and then they go try to find a client who needs exactly that thing they have learned. That's the backward way to do it. And it's why most people spend months building skills that don't convert into income ever. Then you pick the tool. The tool takes a week to learn. The most important thing is to find a problem that is going to be worthy of someone paying you for it. Finding the right problem is just the whole game I want you to be playing in the course of running a business in this time and age. The businesses I've seen that failed at this, and I've seen a lot of them actually, all made the same move. And that's why I'm sharing this with you. They fell in love with the tool. They built a solution around that. Then they went looking for someone who had that exact problem. Sometimes they got lucky and find one. Most of the times they didn't. Because the funny thing is, when you are in this space of trying to implement AI into a business, until you actually walk in there and look at a problem and look at the business workflow and now diagnose that workflow, you will not realize that all what you have in your head is just in your head. But most times reality is speaking a totally different language from what you thought was possible. So in this case, you are just wasting all those time picking out a tool that you eventually never get someone to use it on. While the business that work, they start with a conversation. What's costing this client the most time or money right now? What will they pay to actually fix it? What does fixed actually look like for this particular client? Answer those three questions before you touch a single tool, and you're already ahead of most people trying to do this with AI. Problem first, tool second, every single time. That is the framework. Three models, one principle, and a clear path to your first paying client. That's exactly what you have just gotten from this video. If you want to know the exact checklist I use to figure out which model fits a client before I ever quoted them a price, well, I'm going to be putting a brand new ebook that I've custom made for business owners. And this is exactly the same book, the same framework I am using every single day with clients and businesses. So if you are a solo business owner and you're looking for how do I know where to implement AI in my business, that's exactly the book you want to be looking at. Just grab it in the comment. Just look in the description of this video. You're going to see a link there. Grab that ebook and it will help you a ton. If you're starting your own AI agency and you're wondering how to actually know how to diagnose these businesses, that ebook is exactly the framework you need to actually take it and just go run it. Run the blueprint is my gift for you. So if you like this, let me know by hitting that subscribe button and drop your questions. If you have something in mind you want us to talk on the next episode, or you have someone you know that is really using AI and you would like us to talk to that person, drop their name in the comment section. We'll try to get them on the channel and share their knowledge with you. So yeah, welcome to the last part of this video. Thank you for watching it so far. And I am super always happy to know that I have you guys watching it. But unfortunately, we keep seeing these numbers that really doesn't match up compared to the people watching the videos and the people that are subscribed to the channel. So please do us a favor to look again to see if you are not subscribed. Please hit that subscribe button. It helps us a ton and actually motivate us to keep doing this. I will see you in the next video.